The Kitchen Angle Show. A Jersey native. Home of everything and anything. Your host, Mike.
Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. This is Mike, and welcome to today's show. We got a lot to talk about today. I want to get into the riots and the protesting, because some of them, folks, aren't that bad. You know, some of them are very peaceful. Some of them are very peaceful, but yet some of them are very dangerous. What's going on with some of these protesting? Okay, it's starting off as a peaceful protest, and then you have this heinous group, which can be classified as a terror group. Sure, it can be. It can be classified as a domestic terror group, and I'm all for President Trump classifying Antifa as a domestic terror group, because that's what they are, folks. They're nothing but these little mama boys and entitled brats from families that maybe grew up from not having a father in their lives, and basically just not having correct parental guidance through their childhood. These people, folks, are people that aren't used to the word no, okay? Maybe their parents never used the word no when they were a child. So these are nothing but millennial spoiled brats and little mama boys and mama girls, okay, that have nothing better to do than just to cause trouble, riots, and chaos, okay? And this has to stop, folks. This really has to stop, okay? We're going across the country and we're seeing city by city being burnt down to the ground. Historic monuments being burnt down to the ground, okay? We cannot have this. We cannot have every city literally being engulfed in flames. I'm not going to stand for it. I know you, the American public, and the American patriot won't stand up for this, because this is not what America stands for, folks. This is America. This is that shining armor. This is Lady Liberty. This is the American bald eagle flying high in the sky. All those American entities, those treasures, they're all in tears right now of what they're seeing, behind their eyes, beneath their feet. This is American horror. This is a tragedy. This needs to be stopped, and it needs to be stopped now. President Trump needs to get the military involved, which he said, this was just yesterday, which I'm glad he announced it. Get a lot of criticism from people that follow me on my Facebook and Twitter page, saying the president can't do this. Oh, he doesn't have the right. He's going to be breaking laws. He's going to be doing this. He's going to be doing that. Just another sorry excuse for the liberal left to attack Trump on this decision. Well, let me ask you a question here, folks. Would you rather have your American cities being burnt to the ground? Seriously, you need to look yourself in the mirror and ask that question, and then have an answer for that question. Would you rather have your monuments being burnt down to the ground? Would you rather have everything that you look dear to your hearts being burned to the ground? Well, some of you will say, no, Mike, I don't want that. I don't want horror in this country. And then the liberal nut jobs, the activists that get a high off this will agree. Oh yeah, sure, do it. Let's reborn America. America needs to be reborn because you have corrupted cops out there that are killing people. Well, let me tell you something. There's not all the cops, folks, aren't all bad. All the cops aren't the bad ones. Yes, there's some corrupt ones that shouldn't even have a badge or a shield and shouldn't have that gun on the side of their holster. Those cops shouldn't be in uniform. I agree with that. Those cops should not be in uniform. Because every cop that takes an oath to protect his fellow citizens and his city and his town and what have you, those cops, whether they're good or bad, okay, healthy or not, every cop in America now should have to take a mental health wellness check before every shift. Oh, yeah, sure. Because if they can do it in the military, why the hell can't they do it for the police force? Every week, maybe every day, before a cop or a sheriff deputy starts his shift, has to perform and undergo a mental health analysis or a wellness check to make sure that they're sane in the head and they don't have killing agendas on their mindsets. Because folks, this country is going down the crapper. It really is. And it doesn't help when you have extremists such as Antifa and other terror groups in this country orchestrating hate. Folks, I'll be right back after these words. All right, guys, I'm back to the show. Last night, I decided to take a walk over to the downtown area. It's a very nice, peaceful little town here that I live in Walton County, Georgia. It's near the North Georgia mountains. It's just beautiful, right? So I decided to walk, and I want to plug this little segment into the show here because, like I said, not all these protests are that bad. Okay, you have some peaceful ones, and then you have these terror groups that are hijacked in these peaceful protesting, and they're influencing hate. Now, this one I decided to walk through, and had the opportunity to talk to a couple of the protesting. It was very small. It was a group of maybe, 50 or 100 people. Very, very small. Ping on that one. Thank you, Mr. Soundman. But it was a very small protest. And I want to just play a glimpse of what I seen, because what I seen was very, very peaceful. A message being broadcast across from different types of people in that protest, from different types of backgrounds. Both white and black people were in that protest. Okay, and it was very peaceful. It was very peaceful. There was no hate being orchestrated. There was no crime being demonstrated. To be honest with you, there was even cops participating in that protest. So I want to play the protest. I basically took a video of this, so I'm going to plug it into the show of what I seen, okay? Because I seen very peaceful, very well-organized protesters demonstrating their support in all of this, okay? So we're going to play it right now on the show. Like I said, folks, very peaceful protests going on right now. Very peaceful, no riots, no mayhem.
Walk up the road here. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff.
All right, folks, I'm going to fast forward in this little segment here that I'm plugging into the show. Basically, if you could hear the demonstrators or protesters or whatever you want to decide to call them, okay, they're basically crying out for justice. All right, they're saying basically no justice, no peace. Okay, basically what they're saying is with the no justice, no peace. Okay, folks, if we don't have justice in this country, we won't have peace. Okay, because when you are a police officer of the law, and if you cannot demonstrate peace, you're not demonstrating justice. Okay, now a black man, gets dragged out of the store wherever he was. The store, the store was basically demonstrating some hate, which they shouldn't have done. I'm only making assumptions here. I'm not making true accusations here. I'm just making an assumption here on the show. The black man Floyd was called upon by the police, or to the police, excuse me, for that matter, that he was trying to forge a bill, a counterfeit bill. Well, how the hell did he know that the money was counterfeit to begin with? Seriously, how did he know? I mean, all of us in our lifetime probably had some type of counterfeit bill in our pockets that was handed to us from another party, whether it was a grocery store, a bank, a food market, a farmer's market, hell, even the airport. We're going to a vending machine. We're going to the food area, right? To get something to eat before we jump on the plane. How does anybody know that the money is counterfeit? Okay, and then for that cop to orchestrate such degree in a police officer is on me. It really is. It really is. I mean, there is so much hate in this country, folks. It's unreal. The clocks are turning backwards in time. We're literally going back to the 60s and beyond that of what we're seeing here. So I'm going to fast forward a little bit of this, and you're going to see, like I said, a very peaceful protest. And this was just last night when I was doing my my jog. I love going jogging here in this area. It's very peaceful. So you're going to hear just a peaceful protest. And as you can hear the birds in the background, I'm on my porch again. It's a beautiful day here. Oh, I love the weather. I love the weather. It's not too hot. It's not too cold. It's just mild weather. But anyway, I'm going to fast forward this here and plug into the segment here a little bit more. So what you're hearing now is a protest from protesters or demonstrators of whatever you want to call them, demonstrating their support of what had happened a week and a half ago. Protest died down a little bit. Guess we're taking a break.
This one's peaceful. Good to keep it that way. Yeah.
They had drones.
They had drones?
There's people behind the building.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so the protest was very peaceful. I as you can hear me in the background in the video, you can't see the video on the show, but as you can hear the audio, I'm basically speaking to one protester, asking, let's keep it peaceful, guys, and she agreed on it. We're a very young college student from Georgia State, from the Athens area, which is roughly about a half hour, 40 minutes from this area of Okovie. And basically saying that the police have set up some type of drone activity in the area, and then they had some some police on top of the rooftops, just in case it escalated, which, don't get me wrong, I agree on that matter. You never know. A peaceful protest can turn into a hate, nasty riot of what we are seeing in America today. We're seeing mainly in big cities, peaceful protesting turning into riots of mayhem and chaos. How they're doing that, folks, is you're getting these terror groups such as Antifa, okay, hijacking these peaceful protesters, manipulating their mindsets into telling them hate and just orchestrating a peaceful protest into a hateful riot, which it shouldn't be that way. It should not be that way, folks, because a protest is yes, it's under the Constitution. It's your right to protest and demonstrate your view and your points, just like any other protest. Even radio shows. Radio shows is your God-given right to a radio show such as a podcast of what I do is your God-given right to express your views and your thoughts and your actions and your opinions on a subject or a topic. Okay, that's protected under the Constitutional Bill of Rights. Okay, but here's the one thing I want to bring up here towards this whole thing. President Trump, a day ago, was it yesterday? Was it yesterday, Doug? Yesterday, I believe. Yesterday or the day before. I'm not sure. Everything is just going at a rapid rate here. Had signed an order suggesting mayors and governors, state governors of every state, to involve their National Guard, their state National Guard, military troops to get involved with these riots. Okay, these protesting riots. Okay, get them involved because we can't have buildings being burnt down. We can't have police cars tipped over by 50, 100 people. And oh yeah. Did you see on the on one of the what was it? Who posted that, Doug? There's a post on Facebook and Twitter. I think it was America's Voice or Military News or something like that, where they had I believe it was in California. It was in California, of course, a liberal state. It was in California where a protest, a very large protest, like I said, peaceful protest, hijacked by Antifa and other terror groups and domestic terror groups in this country, orchestrating hate, tipped over a police car, and you have one just extremist activist literally taking a dump on a overturned police car. Oh yeah, this is happening in America. What message are you sending by someone taking a crap on a damn car, a police car for that matter? What message are you sending? Because first of all, folks, when a peaceful protest in a support of a young black man that dies on the hands of a corrupt white police officer, okay, when it goes from supporting that to a bunch of thugs, mama boys, like I said, entitled brats, millennial brats, taking a dump on a police car, what message are you sending? You're not sending support of a black man dying by the hands of a white corrupted cop, or any cop for that matter. You're sending a message that you don't care about this country. You're taking a dump on this country's foundation, its meanings, and everything it stands for. These people should be locked up, arrested, and charged with theft, because there's a lot of looting going on. Don't get me started with the looting. I mean, we've seen major businesses such as Target, pharmacies, everything, basically being destroyed in a matter of minutes, folks. Matter of minutes, because these thugs are taking everything that they can grab, bricks, baseball bats, and they're bashing windows. They're bashing windows into storefronts that we hold so dear, like Walmart and Target and other stores, fast food chains across America, bashing windows, stealing stuff, whatever they can get their hands on. Folks, these are criminals that need to be locked up, and that's that. I'm all for the president a couple days ago getting the military involved. Getting the military involved. Oh, oh boy, do we have a sound clip? We have a sound clip, folks, of what Trump had basically ordered here, and oh boy, I'm getting a lot of feedback on my social media and some close friends of mine that some of them agree with my message, some of them don't. But that's okay. Like I said, it's their God-given right. It's protected under the Constitution. But what's not protected under the Constitution, okay, is when you have these thugs and these entitled brats destroying America. Folks, we'll be right back. You're going to want to hear this next segment here I plug into the show. Hey guys, if you're out there trying to look for a new product, a natural product, you want to get off the strong medications, the strong everything in this crazy world today we live in, look no further than HempWorks. HempWorks, what is it? Guys, it's a natural supplement. It's healthy for your body. It's through the natural blend of marijuana, but basically... it's crazy to say that, but HempWorks is actually legal, folks. You can buy it in stores, online stores, everywhere. Basically what it is an oil type of formula that you can basically spread all over your body. I'm telling you what, folks, this stuff works like wonders. It really does. It's a tremendous product. And I'm telling you what, I use it myself. For things that, sometimes I go through, like headaches and just everyday stress levels, you apply it on your forehead, boom, God, it's like a miracle. I call it the miracle pill, so to speak, but it's oil based. And I tell you what, guys, that headache goes away within minutes. Try HempWorks. Just log on to HempWorks.com. You can Google it, HempWorks, HempWorx. Make sure you put the X at the end. So it's HempWorks. Google that right now, guys. I'm telling you what, there's, so many different products on their page that you can, you can scroll through, look at it, see if it's the right product for you first. And I'm telling you what, guys, this product, you're going to love it. They stand by their money too. So, Google HempWorks today, guys. You'll love it.
Americans, my first and highest duty as president is to defend our great country and the American people. I swore an oath to uphold the laws of our nation, and that is exactly what I will do. All Americans were rightly sickened and revolted by the brutal death of George Floyd. My administration is fully committed that for George and his family, justice will be served. He will not have died in vain. But we cannot allow the righteous cries and peaceful protesters to be drowned out by an angry mob. The biggest victims of the rioting are peace-loving citizens in our poorest communities. And as their president, I will fight to keep them safe. I will fight to protect you. I am your president of law and order and an ally of all peaceful protesters. But in recent days, our nation has been gripped by professional anarchists, violent mobs, arsonists, looters, criminals, rioters, Antifa, and others. A number of state and local governments have failed to take necessary action to safeguard their residents. Innocent people have been savagely beaten, like the young man in Dallas, Texas, who was left dying on the street, or the woman in upstate New York viciously attacked by dangerous thugs. Small business owners have seen their dreams utterly destroyed. New York's finest have been hit in the face with bricks. Brave nurses who have battled the virus are afraid to leave their homes. A police precinct has been overrun. Here in the nation's capital, the Lincoln Memorial and the World War II Memorial have been vandalized. One of our most historic churches was set ablaze. A federal officer in California, an African-American enforcement hero, was shot and killed. These are not acts of peaceful protest. These are acts of domestic terror. The destruction of innocent life and the spilling of innocent blood is an offense to humanity and a crime against God. America needs creation, not destruction. Cooperation, not contempt. Security, not anarchy. Healing, not hatred. Justice, not chaos. This is our mission, and we will succeed. 100%, we will succeed. Our country always wins. That is why I am taking immediate presidential action to stop the violence and restore security and safety in America. I am mobilizing all available federal resources, civilian and military, to stop the rioting and looting, to end the destruction and arson, and to protect the rights of law-abiding Americans, including your Second Amendment rights. Therefore, the following measures are going into effect immediately. First, we are ending the riots and lawlessness that has spread throughout our country. We will end it now. Today, I have strongly recommended to every governor to deploy the National Guard in sufficient numbers that we dominate the streets. Mayors and governors must establish an overwhelming law enforcement presence until the violence has been quelled. If a city or state refuses to take the actions that are necessary to defend the life and property of their residents, then I will deploy the United States military and quickly solve the problem for them. I am also taking swift and decisive action to protect our great capital, Washington, D.C. What happened in this city last night was a total disgrace. As we speak, I am dispatching thousands and thousands of heavily armed soldiers, military personnel, and law enforcement officers to stop the rioting, looting, vandalism, assaults, and the wanton destruction of property. We are putting everybody on warning. Our 7 o'clock curfew will be strictly enforced. Those who threaten innocent life and property will be arrested, detained, and prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. I want the organizers of this terror to be on notice that you will face severe criminal penalties and lengthy sentences in jail. This includes Antifa and others who are leading instigators of this violence. One law and order, and that is what it is. One law. We have one beautiful law. And once that is restored and fully restored, we will help you, we will help your business, and we will help your family. America is founded upon the rule of law. It is the foundation of our...
All right, folks, what you just heard was the president basically setting out a presidential order, okay, which he can do. Like I have mentioned before on earlier this show, and this is what I was getting at to this segment here. I just plugged into the podcast, the show today. A lot of people criticizing the president. A lot of people. And, quiet, yeah, it's normal. Oh, it's normal. Yeah. Oh, the president can't do that. He can't get military involved. Oh, he's gonna start martial law and blah, 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 blah. He's going to destroy America. No, folks, you know who's destroying America? Because this protest, everything that you see beneath your eyes since January of this year, you are basically seeing a reseeding of this country, a rebirth of this country. Because I'm going to tell you right now, first we had coronavirus. Right? Coronavirus around January, February. It wasn't so bad, right? Coronavirus. Then you had state leaders, governors, mayors, city mayors, just basically state leadership starting to close down businesses. And then you had the scare of the murder hornet. What the hell is the murder hornet? I had never heard such a thing before. We had, now all of a sudden after coronavirus, we have this wave of murderous bees going to be going through the air and stinging people and killing people. That lasted maybe for a week, a couple days a week, right, Doc? Jeez. And now we have the next wave, the next poison, the next virus of this country. Because you don't hear nothing about coronavirus. Oh, no, you don't hear it. You don't hear nothing about coronavirus anymore. You don't hear nothing about people wearing masks anymore. Oh, no. No, because you go to these blue states such as New York, you go to other states out there and you get these governors that are saying, oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You're okay with them. We're not wearing a mask. Just you can go out and protest and this and that. Oh, okay. Social distancing has become has ceased to exist now. We don't see so much social distancing becoming involved here in the country. Now we just see a bunch of entitled brats and millennial nut jobs, mama boys, that never heard the word no in their life, going out and destroying beautiful historic buildings, monuments that's been there for the last 100 years, couple hundred years. More than that, some of them have been there for 500 years. Destroyed. Oh my God! You mentioned, you heard the president. Washington D.C. literally destroyed. The Lincoln Memorial vandalized, spray painted. Folks, is that the America that you want? Seriously, is this the America that you want? Is this the America that you wake up every day? You brush your teeth, you wash your face, you take a shower, you drink your coffee, whatever you do in the morning to start your day. And then you go out and you see all this hatred being spilled upon in this country. I tell you what, the coronavirus and these violent protesting, because it's not protesting, it's being hijacked from a peaceful protest to hate being spilled in this country, because there's these terror groups such as Antifa. All they want to do, and then the whole, I call it the fake neurotic coronavirus, because there's no such thing, folks. I think people are starting to wake up every day now and starting to understand that this whole coronavirus was nothing but a joke. Yeah, it lasted for a few months, but it's starting to die out because people are smart. America's smart, folks. Well, the right Americans are smart. They use common sense. They're not naive. They understand that the coronavirus was a agenda made by the political left. Okay, an agenda to try to bring down the president, to try to say, oh, look what you're doing now. You had the economy at an all-time high, an historic high. Now the economy has taken a boom. It's tanking. Yeah, they tried that. Well, the right Americans are starting to wake up, and they're starting to understand that this was an agenda to politicize it, to try to bring down the president. Well, it's not working anymore. So what do they do now? They had to do something, right? They had to do something. They had to take this next agenda. Oh, and it fell right in the laps too. Right in the laps of the political left. It fell right in the laps. They had to take this next agenda and they had to pour it down the drain. Pour it down the drain to America. And they had to have the president of the United States, Trump, watch this as they used another agenda. Oh, we got to do another. We got to come up with something, folks. We got to come up with something to make Trump look like an idiot. We got to come up with something. So what'd they come up with? Oh, it worked right in their hands. A corrupted cop that murdered a black man in Minneapolis, Minnesota, right? And right now it's working. It has a very strong hold on America. Okay, because you have two sides of it. You have peaceful protesting, and then you have peaceful protesting being hijacked by these terror groups such as Antifa. Okay, and it's putting a weak burden on the country right now. Okay? It really is. It really is. Because, folks, our country is in a melting pot right now. We are in a modern civil war, not the North and the South, but we are in a modern civil war with these terror groups, these crazy people that want to bring down our government and reborn it, rebirth it into something entirely different. Well, I'm telling you right now, the coronavirus was nothing but a socialism agenda, and it's slowly dying out because you don't see nothing but social distancing on the TV screens anymore, the news outlets anymore. You don't see masks being overhyped anymore, because that's all it was, folks, was socialism. It was an experiment to try to reborn this country, try to rebirth it into socialism, into a socialist country. Well, it's not working anymore. That agenda died out. It didn't work for them. So now they're trying this next approach with radical racism in this country. They're trying to, these people, folks, that's why I said we're in a civil war. We are. We're in a modern civil war right now, because you have these extremist groups, and they're domestic terror groups. Yes, they're people that live in this country that want to make this country something entirely different. They want to bring down government. They want to bring down law enforcement. They want to abolish ICE. They want to abolish Homeland Security. They want to destroy the Constitutional Bill of Rights. They want to destroy everything that you hold dear. They want to destroy your freedom. They want to destroy your everything. Everything. They want to destroy it. They want to destroy it. Well, folks, we can't have this happen. Wake up, your pretty blue eyes, whatever color eyes you have in the morning, or when you wake up in the morning. So I'm going a little off of my words. I'm heated up. Because this is disgusting in a handbasket. This can't be done. You can't have people in major cities and other towns and cities across America taking American flags, putting them on the ground, taking a lighter and burning them. Folks, that's treason. These people should be locked up, sent to Guantanamo Bay, okay, for terror acts, because these people are nothing but terrorists. The only difference is they live in this country. So it classifies them as not international terrorists, but domestic terrorists, because these people they're nothing but domestic terrorists. And they want to see nothing but hate in this country. Hate. And then you have crazy liberals. Oh yeah. I hear all the time. I had a couple of followers. I have some followers on my Facebook and Twitter page. Some of them are good followers. Some of them shouldn't even be on there. But I can't do nothing about it, because it's the Constitution. Oh, I can ban them. But what's going to happen? Is that going to show them anything? Is that going to teach them anything? No, because they'll just say some neurotic stuff anyway. Oh, Trump can't bring the military involved. He can't do that. Sure, he can. Look up your Constitution. Every president has done it. He's not the only president that's getting the military involved to control these crazy, out of control rioters that are burning your streets. He can get the military involved. Look it up. It's called the Insurrection Act of 1807. And every president after that has demonstrated that act, has brought that act back in place. Oh yeah. Would you like me to tell you what had happened? Every president before then has used that act. Every president has demonstrated that Insurrection Act of 1807. And what is the Insurrection Act of 1807? Oh, would you like to know? Because I have it here, and I can read it off of it. I don't have to read off of it. I know it. I know what the Insurrection Act of 1807. But you don't have these liberal nut jobs and these little mama boys and these little entitled brats knowing it, because all they know is hate. Because they don't know the word no. It was never taught to them as a child. You know, some of these people, these young boys and young girls, these college students, because that's what they mainly are. They're college students. They're millennial brats that never heard the word no in their life. Probably grew up with a deadbeat father, never paid the child support, walked out on the mother when they were young. So their childhood sucked. Yeah, I mean, your childhood would suck too if your father left your mother and everything and did his own thing. But what's the Insurrection Act? The Insurrection Act of 1807 is a United States federal law, 331-335, that empowers the President of the United States to deploy military troops within the United States in particular circumstances, such as to suppress civil disorder, insurrection, and rebellion. What do you think these peaceful protesting being hijacked by these domestic terror groups such as Antifa, what do you think that is? That is a civil disorder. When a protest becomes a civil disorder, it becomes a riot. You hear the birds in the background? It's beautiful. I'm outside, by the way. I'm doing the show from the porch here. But back to the segment here. A civil disorder is when a peaceful protest, okay, becomes a civil disorder, when rioting, looting, and vandalism gets taken in play. That is the Insurrection Act that I'm so grateful that this country, the federal government, has passed in the year 1807. That's why people don't know this. That's why people don't take a second to read the Constitutional Bill of Rights in this country. Oh, they're so worried about posting the next selfie or having the next group orgy at their fraternity house than reading the Constitution, because that's what America has become. That's what this new 21st America has become, a sickened breeding ground of millennial nut jobs that influence all this crap. Oh, gotta take the selfie. Where was the people when George Floyd was getting murdered by this corrupted cop? Yeah, the cop had his freaking shin and his knee over the man's neck as he was pleading, handcuffed. Couldn't do anything. He wasn't resisting. He's being arrested for forgery of a counterfeit bill. Do you have significant evidence that he made that counterfeit bill, or you're arresting him for probable cause? You arrested him for probable cause, yeah. But the man wasn't resisting. He was cooperating with police. Oh yeah, you look at the video, and when I look at this video, I see nothing but disgust in this video. I see him, I see a fellow officer and 3 other fellow officers in the video doing nothing but just standing by with their hands in their pockets and observing local public as this corrupted cop is committing first-degree murder. And what is his charges? And excuse me, before I get to that, what do these other cops do? Nothing. They just stand by as this cop is literally murdering this man. Before the general public. Not doing a damn thing. Not trying to take the cop off the man. As the man is pleading out to his mom, crying out to his mother. Mama, 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 mama. He's crying out to his mom as he's being murdered by a corrupted police officer. And what his charges are: third degree murder and manslaughter. First of all, he's gonna be sent to jail, yeah, for third degree murder and manslaughter. First of all, these charges should be dropped down to first degree murder. And yeah, you want to stick manslaughter in it? Yeah, because it is manslaughter. It should be dropped down to first-degree murder. But no. You'll have a left-wing judge probably just slap him with a third-degree murder charge, and he'll probably get off on good behavior inside the jail. He'll probably do 5, maybe 10 years in prison. The 10-year charge sentence will probably be dropped down to 5 years on good behavior. This is nuts. And what do you have? You look at the video. You have nothing but these millennials. Nothing but these millennials. This is before the protesting. This is before the all these riots and looters and everything else. Like, you have nothing but people with cell phones just video cameraing it. Oh, that's all they have nothing better to do. Video cameraing it. Like it's a movie scene. Oh, got a video camera, got to put it on Facebook Live, got to tweet it out, got to put it on Instagram, got to put it on all the social media platforms. Hashtag my friends at Caltech or Georgia Tech or whatever college that you go to. Yeah, all of a sudden you're movie stars. You see somebody being murdered in front of your eyes. You don't do a damn thing but just pull out your damn cell phones and video camera it. Where is the justice there? You want to protest, no justice, no peace. There is no justice, there is no peace in this country. Because the reason why there's no justice in this country is because if there was justice in this country, the people, these little millennial brats, these little mama boys and little millennial brats wouldn't be taking out their cell phones and video cameraing a murder in front of them. They would be calling the damn police and saying you have a corrupted cop on the city block committing first-degree murder. Disgusting. Disgusting. I'll be right back after these words, folks. Hey folks, back to the show. For those who's just joining into today's show, happy Wednesday to you first and foremost. Today we're talking about the spill of hatred that's being poured on this country. This country, folks, is just it's suffering a great deal of hatred, violent crime, looting, vandalism, our country being, and our Constitution for that matter, being overran by terror groups such as Antifa and other organized domestic terror groups, because that's they are. They're organized, folks. These aren't groups. I'm going to tell you about these groups here. These groups, these rioters, these looters. These aren't people that are just happen to be on Market Street or just happen to be on Peachtree Street in downtown Atlanta. They other areas such as L.A. There was so many areas, Washington D.C. These aren't just college students just happen to be there. These are very organized groups of people, very organized. This is organized crime. These are mobs of people with agendas in their hearts and their minds of just self-made destruction. That's all this is organized crime. These are modern mobs, okay? Because if you want to see what the mob was like back in the 50s through the early 90s, you're looking at a modern day mob, okay? You're looking at organized crime, sad to say, at its finest. Okay, these are organizers of mobsters, but it's organized crime, folks. I want to let my listeners understand of what's going on. Like I said, these are not orchestrators, demonstrators. These are not looters, rioters that are basically just showing up, just happen to be there on a Monday or a Wednesday afternoon or whatever day of the day or night. These are organizers that are literally, most likely probably texting the next organizer saying, show up here, show up there. These are organizers. This is organized crime, folks. You're seeing organized crime. And I am for the President of the United States to get the military involved. He has a presidential power to do that under the Insurrection Act of 1807. And every president has done that before that. Every president has basically used the Insurrection Act. I have a list here of every president that has used it. For my doubters out there, yes, this is not something new. The president has a right to use it. He's not breaking any laws. For those who don't know the Constitution, for those who don't know what he's empowered to do, the president has a power to deploy military force and use to quail out these ruthless demonstrators and rioters. Every president before Trump has used the Insurrection Act. The Insurrection Act, for the last 200 years, has given presidents the power to deploy the military to quell the unrest. Okay? And what president has used this? Well, here we go again. First of all, let's start out with the Insurrection Act of 1807. The Insurrection Act of 1807 dates back a good over 200 years now. It was originally signed by Thomas Jefferson, amended over the years, and it states, whenever there is an insurrection in any state against its government, the president may, upon the request of the legislature or its governor, if the legislature cannot be convened, meaning that he will give advice to a governor or a state mayor to evolve military personnel. If they do not adhere to his advice, the president may overpower that. Okay? In case governors don't comply with the president's demands, one provision of the law passed in 1956 gives the president the power to act basically by himself. Okay? Whenever the president considers unlawful obstructions, combinations, or we won't get into that because that doesn't make no damn sense. I'm sorry, folks. I'm reading here and it just... Okay. Do we have the right bill? Give me the right bill, Doug. I'm sorry, folks. Basically, the president has a right to get the... okay, now we have it right. I'm sorry, folks. Little some problems here happen on the show here. Anyway, we're talking about the Insurrection Act, right? What is the Insurrection Act? For example here, the Insurrection Act was used in 1831, shortly after it was passed by Jefferson. President Andrew Jackson, at the request of Norfolk Mayor, deployed federal troops to quash Nate Turner's slave rebellion in Virginia's Southampton County. That was one way to use it. Okay, but he used it at the direction and the request of Norfolk Mayor at the time. Okay, but there is also a so-called a add-on to the bill, meaning that the president can announce this presidential executive order, okay, to the direction of mayors and governors in their states. If they do not wish to act upon that, the president may overturn that and basically act upon himself as a president to protect its citizens, okay, in civil distress. That was one way they used it. The reason for that was the role of the federal military forces in domestic disorders. Also dates back at 1789 to 1878 by Robert W. Coakley. Okay, this was just the birthplace of American slavery, debated abolishing it after Nate Turner's bloody revolt. 4 decades later, in 1871, the President USS Grant expanded the Insurrection Act so it could be suppressed uprising against any part of or class of people who are deprived of right, privilege, immunity, or protection named in the Constitution. So 4 decades later, in 1871, President Grant expanded the bill. So there was no uprising in any class or group of people. That's what you're seeing, folks. You're seeing an uprising here in this country from a terror group trying to change this country, trying to bring down its government. And that's what this is all about. This is that's how it all started through the coronavirus, to try to bring down the government. Grant's target was the violent Ku Klux Klan, which was, according to the Coakley book, inciting its members to commit crimes, including murder against Republicans and blacks, and rarely facing prosecution. That's what the target was at the time. Once the law was passed in the spring of 1871, Grant was quick to act. On May 3rd of that year, he issued a required order for Suffolk laws to cease violating anyone's constitutional rights. Then, learning that the KKK was still thriving in several South Carolina counties, which organized more than 1,000 soldiers to round up several hundred Klansmen. Scores of suspects were arrested, and many of them were interrogated for several weeks without an indictment. So that was one way they used the Insurrection Act to control the members of the Ku Klux Klan at the time. Okay. Over the next several decades, the law would be used many more times by other presidents. In 1957, President Dwight D. Eisenhower welded the Insurrection Act during desegregation of Central High School in Little Rock, Arkansas. 9 black students who were enrolled at the all-white school were tested out the 1954 Supreme Court ruling in the Brown versus Board of Education Topeka case, which concluded that desegregated public schools were unconstitutional. On September 25th, Eisenhower sent federal troops to escort the students into the school safely after they'd been barred earlier that month by the National Guardsmen called in by the state's governor. So we're seeing this Insurrection Act being used several times over. More recently, President George H.W. Bush, ordered federal troops into Los Angeles in 1992 after Peter Wilson, then governor of California, made a request to help quell riots after the 4 police officers charged in the beating of Rodney King were acquitted. So this whole thing that Trump just used was very, 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 very similar to what happened in 92 of what Bush had done. So this is as very recent as what had happened in 92 compared to now. What's the difference among those years? Well, very, very similar. Very, very similar. You had 4 police officers charged in the beating of Rodney King, and they were acquitted. You had 1 police officer that committed murder that wasn't acquitted. That's the only difference. It's the only difference. Thank God you had prosecutors that saw through this as nothing but murder. I think it should be dropped as first-degree murder. That's my own personal opinion. But folks, in my closing here of the show, because we're running low on time, what does all this history have to say? From the KKK rioting to the Rodney King in 92 up until now with George Floyd. What does all this have to do, including the coronavirus? What does this all have to do with anything? Folks, let me explain something to you. Everybody always thought that the Civil War was done. We never had a... No, folks. There has been a civil war in this country for the last 300 years. Probably more than that, longer than that. You will never have peace in this country because you will always have an individual that sees things for what they are not. If you want justice in this country, you have to practice tough love. If you want peace in this country, again, you have to practice tough love. You cannot allow people to instigate and manipulate the law of this land of freedom, this land of everything that we hold dear to. Because once you allow these ruthless demonstrators of looters and rioters and terror groups to overturn your cities, well, folks, you just lost your you basically just lost everything. You lost your constitution, you lost your law of order, you lost everything in this country. You don't have a country then a country becomes third world, and it's overran by terror groups. You don't have no police force, you don't have no law enforcement. Your military is being shot down by and overrun by terror groups. Folks, we need to get this country back. We need to bring back law and order in this country, and we need to set an example to these ruthless, unhinged demonstrators that are committing these violent acts of crime. Folks, thank you for joining in today, and we'll hope to see you on the next one. Also, I'd like to mention this Friday we will be having a special guest, Ryan, back to the show on Friday. Going to have a special show on Friday with Ryan, and we'll see you on Friday. Thank you very much for joining in to today's show. Thanks very much, guys.
Nothing! You lose! Good day, sir!
You just heard an episode of the Kitchen Angle Show at Anchor Podcast.